Heidi and Frank show. If you like going to the movies, then you're going to like this segment because we have the Schmoes stop by every week to talk about what's opening up in theaters. It's Mark and Kristian from the Schmoes Know on YouTube.
I am mentally scarred from that phone call from that guy.
From Put Your Man Where Your Mouth Is?
Dude,
I know, huh?
I could not believe that's your game, guy?
Oh, my God.
On the phone?
I mean, I've never done it, so I'm like, is that how you do it?
But they've already been texting dirty pics. I mean, he already sent DP. She implied that she wanted it, and
But let's feel it out. Let's feel out the audio first.
That's how I make a sexy phone call. Is I just beep it myself, so they don't know what I'm saying. So it sounds like I could be saying something really dirty.
You're really talking about tomatoes and pasta.
Yeah. Right. Leave it up to their own dirty mind.
I really want to put my beep in your sauce.
Man, that guy. I wish you guys could follow like the after. Like, what's he doing right now? Like crying?
I know.
Changing his underwear?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what he's doing right now. He is thanking his lucky stars that this happened on October 21st, which is Back to the Future Day. He can hop in a DeLorean. He can get rid of this whole mess.
Right. Just going to
Great Scott!
Great Todd!
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
This is heavy.
It is Back to the Future Day. October 21st, 2015. It was the time that the DeLorean was set to go to the future when he saw all the cool stuff and the Cubs winning the World Series, which doesn't look like it's going to happen now, being down 3-0.
Not good.
Yeah. 30 years ago.
Well, they were playing Miami back then, so they said everybody screwed it up. Everybody ignored that part.
And there's supposed to be, 14 other Jaws movies that have come out since then, and hoverboards. And the future's missing some stuff. But when I saw Back to the Future 2 in the theater as a little kid in 1989, that's what I thought 2015 was going to look like. Like, it was so far away to where I'm like, yeah, we could totally have flying cars.
Yeah.
Trivia question for you guys. Who plays the little kid that when Marty goes into the Future Cafe, he's playing the video games with the kid? Who plays that little kid?
80% chance his name is Kristian Harlow.
False.
80%. I have no idea, no.
Elijah Wood.
Really?
Really?
Yeah. How old was he then?
Oh, man, he must have been probably like 5 or 6.
Wow.
Maybe a little older. But
Holy cow.
The movies that are opening in theaters this week, we have Jim and the Holograms. It says here you guys did not see that.
We see it tonight. We're supposed to come in.
Do you not want to see it, though?
Not at all.
I can't wait. We're talking Star Wars, right?
What is this about, really? I don't know.
Eric is still reeling from that.
Yeah, so here's what because I was never even aware of this thing as a kid. Apparently, girls grew up loving the Gem and the Holograms, who were my age. They loved this show. I never was aware
heard of it.
So you got this girl, right, and she goes, there's a hologram machine that transports her to an alternate dimension where she is this huge rock star, like a Miley Cyrus. And in this movie, it's not exactly like that, but she basically has to compromise being a real girl with also being a rock star. And how do you balance those two lives? Kristian, am I getting close to what this movie that we're seeing tonight's about?
So it is Hannah Montana.
I believe
Hannah
something
Montana
like that.
/ Saved by the Bell. Remember when all the kids became like rock stars? Like that. It's that story.
Zack Attack.
The Zack Attack.
With their #1 single, Friends Forever.
Yeah, it's right. And Casey Kasem was there.
Do you have Friends Forever? Pull it on. We'll play it next song.
Yeah. And now on with the countdown.
And so my wife was a huge fan of this show growing up, like the cartoon. It was like one of those. It's like after like He-Man, where we were like, I'm bailing because Gem and the Holograms is on. She would watch it, and she was excited to see the trailer. Her face, it would have looked as if they put like Pauly Shore in Star Wars for me if I was watching that trailer. That's her face. She could not believe how they just completely ruined the mythology
from
of
the
it.
trailer. Wow.
I mean, they're going after the YouTube generation, and they shouldn't even call it Gem and the Holograms. They should have just called it something completely different. But who knows? Maybe we'll be back here next week and say we were wrong. And if that's the case, I will eat my shoes on the air.
All right. Okay.
Heidi said she went online, and I don't know if it was on your YouTube channel, but she watched you watching the trailer to Star Wars.
So that Fandango, the three of you watching the Star Wars trailer, and I was sort of making fun of it yesterday because I haven't seen it yet, so I don't know. I don't.
You haven't seen any of them,
right? So I don't have that that pull or that excitement. But I watched you watch the trailer, and I was like, oh my God! I was just telling Frank, it's like it must be what people feel when they have a kid, and a kid is seeing everything for the first time. And they're going, doggy, and you're like, yeah, and like everything is just so like. Wow, and I watched you watching it, and I go, oh, wow, now I care, and I get it.
Yeah, oh, good.
Because I watched you, like, you stood up, like he was, his hands in the air, like the guy with you was
A lot of people felt like that because your bosses over there at Fandango didn't have the site ready to go, and they actually crashed it.
They had the amount of money that this movie has already made in IMAX, in the fact that I think that it was like 8 times the amount of traffic Fandango normally gets. I could be right or wrong on that. It was a big, huge number.
I think it's already outgrossed Pan. Like, I think it's already beat Pan and Fantastic Four, and it's actually better, Heidi, than having a kid. Okay, Star Wars is so much better than having offspring.
I actually showed my 4-year-old the trailer as well too. She's never seen a Star Wars movie, but she's just like, "Oh, wow!" Like it brought out that kid in everyone.
What do you think about the boycott Star Wars because it's anti-white?
As Pacino would say, morons. I mean, what a bunch of idiots. I mean, first of all, James Earl Jones was in the first one.
Right.
He was in the first. He was Darth Vader, you idiots.
Right.
James Earl Jones.
They talk about the dark
Is
side
it
all
the
the time.
stormtrooper when it takes
John
off his helmet?
Boyega.
Reveals?
We're in 2015, you dumb morons. You know,
See, I actually love it. I love it because it's proving why white people shouldn't be the star of Star Wars. If this is how we react, then we should not be in Star Wars at all.
I'm thinking that the white people who are on board with this whole boycott Star Wars is that they saw stormtroopers as clan of the future. They kind of look like white sheets.
Yeah.
You joke, but you're probably 100%.
All it was missing was when he took off the helmet to go, "Where are the white women at?"
Right.
Making a Blazing Saddles bit. If he'd have done that, I'd have died. That was the best trailer of all time.
More like Spaceballs.
Oh yeah,
right. Yeah.
Cletus, that's what we were doing wrong. We got to wear armor, not bed sheets. Armor.
Right. You know what's
Way
so
safer.
You know what's so sad is that fact that John Boyega, if you watch his Instagram video, this guy is like an uber Star Wars fan. He's jumping off like couches and watching the trailer like us. And it's like, if you're a Star Wars fan, that's who you want in the movie. You want a guy like that who's enthusiastic.
That's why I don't know why we're not seeing a Christian Harloff in this film.
I couldn't handle it.
It's too overwhelming.
I like someone asked me if I'd even be an extra. I wouldn't even, because I used to work for the WWE as a writer, and after I
wait.
Yeah.
A writer.
I was. Sorry.
Why do they need writers?
Oh, I don't want to tell you about Santa Claus then.
I don't understand.
But I was a hardcore fan, and then I worked there, and then I got back. I was never a fan again, and I don't want that to happen. So not that it would.
Nicolas Cage said that same thing. Like he was offered Aragon or something in Lord of the Rings, and he says he didn't get it, but he's glad he didn't because now he can enjoy Lord of the Rings as opposed to being.
It's originally why JJ didn't want to direct it. Because he just wanted to sit back and watch it as a fan.
I guess I understand.
See, I wouldn't agree to be an extra in Star Wars simply because I don't want to be that extra. You know, I don't want to be the guy that ruined a scene in Star Wars. Like, 2 fighters against a Star Destroyer? I don't want to be that guy.
or the stormtrooper that hits his head on the door and always remembers.
Why is that one Jedi wearing an Orioles hat? What's up with that dude?
So you didn't see Jim in the holograms. How about The Last Witch Hunter? Did you get that?
Saw it last night.
Vin Diesel's in it, and he's a witch hunter now.
Yeah, and exactly.
Way to sell the movie, Frank.
The Fast and Furious Witch Hunter.
Yeah. If that was the voiceover for the trailer, Vin Diesel is a witch hunter now? Really?
We think?
They should do that.
Right. Well, the movie, it's funny because we went last night not expecting it, and we haven't even reviewed it on our channel yet. This is the first time we're reviewing it. But the movie's not good. But I enjoyed the hell out of it. It's a bad movie, but it's one of those movies.
It's one of those bad good movies.
But not to where you're laughing. To where you're laughing at it. I was entertained. And I turned to Mark after we leave, and I go, I could watch another one of those. I really could.
And I was like, hell yeah! Like usually, Kristian and I are on the same. We're on the same chapter, if not the same page. We were on the exact same line with this movie. Like it's ridiculous, it's stupid, but it is fun to watch. And I could go for a sequel. The problem with this movie is that like the third act gets way too drawn out. There's humor in this movie. None of the humor works, but I like that they tried. Like I was actually sitting there like, hey, good for you.
It wasn't. It wasn't like the jokes came out and you're like, oh, why'd you try that? You're like, I get it. Okay, not bad. Let's do another bad one. Oh, there it is. And it's like, it was one of those.
So how do you do how many schmoes do you give it if it's not good but it's good?
Out of 5, I think I'd probably go 2.5.
I'm going like 2.6. Yeah, just because it's something like there's some cool action in it. It's fun to watch Vin Diesel stay within his range. Then when he goes out of his range, it's hilarious.
He's got one range.
Michael Caine is in it, who has no idea he's even in the movie.
No. Right.
And Elijah Wood's in it.
He is in it. Elijah Wood is in it.
How weird
as
is
well,
that?
so.
We're talking about him.
Got a 25% on Rotten Tomatoes.
As deserved.
Now, let me suggest that you guys don't see Rock the Casbah.
Did you see it?
No.
Oh, okay.
But I'm just hearing about it, and this morning it had a 0 on Rotten Tomatoes. I don't know if it's ever been.
I've never even seen that before.
You know, since we've been on the air since 6 a.m., it's up to 8%.
Oh man, we were supposed to see it last night, but because of Witch Hunter, we went for the big budget.
0 to 8 is climbing.
And it has
Well,
Bill
yeah.
Murray in it, Zoe Deschanel, and so you're thinking, okay, Bill, you're going to go see it. It's got to be good. A down on his luck music manager discovers a teenage girl with an extraordinary voice while on a music tour in Afghanistan and takes her to Kabul to compete on a popular television show, Afghan Star.
Oh, dear.
That's the movie, and here's some of the critics' comments. The film quickly settles into a depressingly one-note groove as a culture-clashing circus act. Murray isn't cute in this role. He's just annoying, and that's something he's rarely been before. The Sharif won't like this, but can you blame him? Rock the Casbah is a dreadful excuse for a comedy that will make you question your faith in Bill Murray.
There's one more on the bottom from Todd. It says, I wouldn't beat my beep in that beep.
I wouldn't spit on that beep. The beep is in beep.
I feel bad because Bill Murray sent over a Rock the Casbah cake to us.
I know.
Sent over
pushing
some
that movie.
I got
swag.
a Rock the Casbah shirt. Yeah, they're
saw him,
sending
and
a
you
lot
saw
of
him
stuff.
at Comic-Con,
He
too.
opened Comic-Con singing Smoke on the Water, and he was hysterical.
Right.
He just basically just was funny for 45 minutes. And it's not just him and Zoe Deschanel. You have Bruce Willis is in this movie. Danny McBride's in this movie. There's a lot of star power here, and I'm still looking forward to it. Nothing that any other critic or even a popular radio program can tell me
That's fair.
is going to make me not believe in this movie because I love Bill Murray so much.
I can't wait till
Murray,
next
a
week.
funny man who long ago lost his fastball, was foolish enough to entrust his comeback star vehicle to screenwriter Mitch Glazer, who never had a fastball.
Oh, he didn't leave. When did Bill Murray lose his fastball? Come on. He's
know.
always had his fastball.
I know.
He's like Nolan Ryan.
Damn. That's
Rock the
depressing.
Casbah isn't horrible as much as it's just horribly misguided. Oh, so I say don't even go see that.
So go see Witch Hunter again.
Go see Witch Hunter again, and then we didn't get to Burnt, but that opens up in theaters next week. That has Bradley Cooper, Sienna Miller. About cooking show.
Yeah, we'll talk about that next week.
It's like, Bradley Cooper's a chef.
Yeah.
Bradley Cooper's a
We have
chef
seen it.
now?
We won't review it this week, but we'll tell you there's a lot of sexy food in this movie. Oh boy. You know I don't even know what food product it is, but when the knife goes into the thing and then like some yolk squirts out. I don't know if it's an egg or what. I would never eat it, but it makes me want to eat food. It's an incredible piece of art.
Well, that's good. You should eat food to stay healthy.
Be sure and go and subscribe to their YouTube channel, youtube.com/schmoes.know, and become part of the Schmoville, schmoes.know.com. Thank you guys for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Love you, kids.
Talk to you next week. We're going to come right back. We are Heidi and Frank.
Back to more of the Heidi and Frank Show next on the Rock of Southern California, 95.5 KLOS.